The Rangers beat San Jose. The Canadiens beat Florida, so they're still tied. And the thing is, the Canadiens have a game in hand.
What a war zone.
So it's crazy. So the Canadiens are ahead of the Rangers for that second wild card spot. Columbus has 2 games in hand on New York and 1 game in hand on Montreal. They have 75 points. Man. So the games that they play this week, including one against Toronto, are going to be huge. And listen, don't look now, but Detroit about 3 points out, and so are the Islanders.
I'm not looking. I am looking, and it's not going to happen.
I know. I don't think so either, but I'm trying to listen. They're in it. To say that they're not would be a fallacy, but I think they're less in it. Now, when you look at the playoff picture, if the playoffs were to start today, okay, you'd have the Caps and Canadiens, Leafs and Senators, Lightning and Panthers, and Hurricanes and Devils. I think the series I would be most excited for would be the All Florida. I think it would be just absolutely outstanding.
That is a fantastic first round. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Battle of Ontario, Battle of Florida, Habs, Caps, Redux, and the Hurricanes and Devils really low-key hate each other.
And you know who you have to thank for that? Who? Gary. You're welcome, said Gary.
Damn.
Sorry,
I meant its ass.
If we seeded this the way that they used to do it, it would still be Caps, Canadiens. It'd be Hurricanes, Senators. It'd be Leafs, Devils, and then the All-Florida matchup would still happen.
Jesse, can you arrange from best to worst in goal differential?
Sure.
Because the Habs being minus 26 is insane.
There are only 9+ teams, and that's in the Eastern Conference.
Wait, the Habs have the 4th worst goal differential in the East?
Yeah, they were bad at the beginning of the year.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
And here they are.
Wow.
One thing I saw Sabres fans talking about this weekend on Twitter was that they have the exact same amount of regulation wins as the Montreal Canadiens and a better goal differential. And the only differentiator between the Sabres and the Canadiens is overtime wins.
Well, I'm gonna have to give that 9 damn that's crazies out of 10. Because
the response to that should be like, that's how it works.
It's encouraging for next year, but it didn't do shit for you this year.
No, you're last in the East for a reason.
That's a little bit of FML right there.
Yeah.
That's poor Sabres fans.
Yeah,
man.
but if you were able to get it done in those overtimes and shootouts, like, you could be in a position fighting for a playoff spot, because the bottom of the East is so bad. None of these teams have been good in this entire stretch of like last 2 weeks of March. Like they've all consistently gone on mini losing streaks.
There might be an Eastern Conference playoff team this year that doesn't crack 90. It's possible.
Oh yeah.
What is Montreal?
Very
have?
possible. 77 points. Like,
jeez,
they might not even get close and still make the playoffs.
That's crazy
because of how bad all of these teams have been. Like the Islanders, who were in prime position like 8 days ago to take that spot where they had games in hand. All they needed to win a couple games, lose 3 in a row.
That's why I think you're crazy for writing off Detroit, because listen, it's unlikely, but it's super duper doable.
Mm-hmm. But Detroit's been bad for a month and a half.
That too.
Mm-hmm. You know, and like all the teams in between them. And Detroit's had their opportunities. Like they were in that playoff spot for so long, and all they had to do was just kind of be average, and then they stunk.
Yeah. Just be normal. And they're like, we can't. We simply can't. By the way, the team with the hottest record in the Eastern Conference at the moment are the Carolina Hurricanes, 8-2-0 in their last 10. Very quietly doing pretty well since Mikko Rantanen left town.
We owe Mr. Tulski a little bit of an apology. Not us necessarily. We, the collective hockey world. Dude, Mark Jankowski has 7 goals as a Hurricane.
And I'm sure Eric Tulski was like, this is what's gonna happen.
Here's the big get. No, they I think if you gave them truth serum, they would have liked to flip some of those futures into something that could help them a little bit more now.
But they seem to be doing okay with it.
They're doing just fine.
Yeah, and on the Western side.
So with the East, you brought up the standings based on just 1 through 8. It's ridiculous. Like the Leafs should be playing the Devils in this playoffs, like based on where they are. And like that would be such an advantage for them because of how injured the Devils are and how inconsistent they've been over the last little while. Ottawa also might pass them in the standings.
I think they are going
if
to.
It was
The
1
Devils?
through 8. If
Yeah.
it was, they can't pass them in the standings in terms of the playoff positioning. But if it was 1 through 8, like Ottawa could pass them, and like the Devils haven't been good, and the Leafs going into that series, I think would be heavily favored.
Yep.
And they don't get that because of the weird, stupid way everything's organized.
What was more fun about 1 through 8 that I remembered is the standings change so aggressively every day. And today the Leafs are playing the Sens.
Yeah.
Oh, but then it's the Devils or it's the Flyers or what? Sorry, this is an old memory I'm talking about. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and for the last few years, this year is fun for sure. But for the last few years, what Leaf fans have gotten is, all right, well, we know they're playing this team, and it's Valentine's Day. So let's all buckle up for the next 2 months
Yep.
Yeah.
of nothing.
Well, yeah, there was it was like, well, they're preparing to play the Bruins from January on. And
Yeah.
and I don't
And they
I don't
still
like
lost.
that either. Gary is high and mighty on that. He loves that about himself. He's the only one that likes it. Not even the teams like
Gary's
it.
just a bunch of talking points in a suit.
No, but this actually, that's one of the things, though, apparently that gives him great pride is that playoff format. He thinks it's revolutionary. And, the thing about revolutions is that normally they're like the start of one little thing and then everybody else jumps on board of the revolution. Have you noticed anybody else jumping on this revolution?
No other league does anything this goofy.
Of course not, because it's stupid. But Gary believes it's a revolutionary concept and that the first round is better for it. And I just, you get less sweeps or something. I don't know. I think he's full of shit on that one. But it's the commissioner's choice, and he gets to make that call, I guess. And nobody wants to go against him on that because they'll get reprisals elsewhere. Probably, maybe.
It was to make rivalries. But you know what makes rivalries? Rivalries. Like hatred.
Yeah.
Playing against each other. You know who I considered a rival growing up? The Sabres, the Flyers, the Sens, the Devils. I hated all those teams
Yeah.
because the Leafs played against them. And when I was very, very young, it was the Blues and it was the Blackhawks because the Leafs used to be in the West.
Yeah.
And the Red Wings.
Even played the Sharks
Both
once.
the Leafs and Red Wings were in the West.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Even played the Sharks in the playoffs in the second
They
round once.
did. They played Arturs Urbe
Yeah, that's
and the
right.
San Jose Sharks in I think it was the 94 playoffs. And yeah, Leaf fans got their Urbe chants. You could find it on YouTube. They weren't like, who is that? Who is
Actually,
that?
you should.
They were into it.
People do post the entire games, like all the early 90s playoff games are all posted, I think probably illegally, but no one cares, on YouTube, and they're awesome. I love I love having them on in the background. I'll put them on my TV or whatever, and just the game is completely different now. It's like a completely different game, but really fun to watch. And Toronto had a loud stadium.
Oh,
Can you
what
imagine?
is that like?
They had a loud stadium. If the playoffs started today, and I think this won't change too much, the only thing that's going to change, I think, in the West, it's not which teams, it's just in what order. The Minnesota Wild, sorry, Hayden, have fallen to the first wild card spot. They are now tied with the St. Louis Blues, although they do have a game in hand. So if it started today, it would be Jets Blues, it would be Golden Knights Wild, it would be Stars Avalanche, and it would be Kings Oilers. And I know, for me personally, the fourth year in a row of Kings Oilers, I'm sure Kings fans and Oilers fans might be a little tired of it, although Oilers fans have been, blessed in that matchup. That is going to be an exciting one. I am very, very much also looking forward to the Mikko Rantanen versus the Avalanche series. I think that would be incredible.
Yeah.
If this were correctly seeded, like a real league, it would be Jets Blues, Stars Wild, Golden Knights Oilers, oh baby, and Colorado Los Angeles, which would also be a good series.
This doesn't have a chance of happening, but Oilers Blues would be fun just for the offer sheet narrative.
Well, maybe they meet.
Maybe they do meet because listen, okay, Jets fans aren't going to want to hear this because the Jets, look at them,
Jesse wants to hear this.
plus
What is he gonna
83 goal differential. They're
He cut himself off before he even made the point. So
No.
No, he's getting there. He's
getting there.
Let him get there.
Let me paint a picture. The Jets are stupid, preposterous good. They might end up with like 120 points. But they haven't been great in the playoffs in recent memory, and they're about to take on the hottest, easily, far and away, no one's denying. They're the hottest team in the NHL with a crazy hot goalie too. If you're the President's Trophy winner, which they just might be, that's a nightmare scenario.
I think they're going to face the Wild. The Wild looks like they're going to drop down to that second one.
I think so.
Like
Now,
Hayden, my condolences.
you guys are so busted. Like, it hasn't been great.
No,
Why hasn't anyone been able to pass them? You know what? Like, I know
they had a great
Because
start.
nobody's been good until St. Louis got good. Like they're the only ones amongst those teams that have really had a great stretch of hockey. And now that that's finally happened, Minnesota continues to fall down the standings. St. Louis is coming up.
By the way, here, can you go back to that page? No.
Conference one?
Yeah, scroll down a bit.
Yeah.
When did NHL.com start putting E next to the eliminated teams?
Yeah.
I don't remember
A little
that.
feature there.
It used to be not that. Wow.
Can you eliminate each of these teams? Maybe like a boom, but like eliminate or something? Or cut or something.
Oh, Seattle Kraken, I'm sorry your season died. Let's get that 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Same with the Preds, Blackhawks, and Sharks.
Also worth mentioning that in the Western Conference, it's really have and have not. That's why you're seeing some goofy points.
Yeah.
Because there are, three of the NHL's, the 4 bottom teams in the NHL who are all already eliminated are all in the Western Conference. So when you see points that are a little bit out of whack, and that happens every year, you've got great teams at the top and terrible teams at the bottom, and that's why the Jets are at 106 points, because you can argue some of the competition's a bit easier when you're playing more games against bad teams. I will make that argument.
What is happening right now?
But I also want to
Tell
point
that
out
to the got swept by the Sharks Leafs.
the best teams in the West have been on fire. There are only, do not pull up this, Hayden. There are only 2 teams in the West in the playoff picture in the last 10 games that do not have at least 7 wins.
Okay.
Name them.
2 teams in the West playoff picture, Canucks?
No, West playoff picture. Like they're
literally in the playoffs
yeah.
right now? I mean, the Wild.
Who's the other one?
Oilers.
Hey! So the Jets are 7-3-0. The Stars are 7-1-2. The Avs are 7-2-1. The Golden Knights are 7-1-2. The Kings are 7-3-0, and the St. Louis Blues are 9-1-0. And then the Oilers and Wild are the same, 5-4-1 in their last 10. Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
That's all your good teams being really good, and that's why it's so hard to pass anyone. And it's crazy because they're all kind of like, hey, we're winning a bunch of games, but so are the rest of those guys. Damn it. You can't take advantage.
You're just playing to be in your best form for the playoffs because you're not making up any ground.
Exactly.